So this is the PS2, so it's a silver edition. Obviously I have bought this second hand and damaged, again to try and repair it. So we've got this little damaged part here, got quite a bit of dirt and dust inside, or at least on the fan. The expansion pack, yeah, very dusty in there. That's about all I can see on there. So there is something rattling. When I've just turned this on upstairs, as you'll see in the video, it actually, the disc tray is stuck. So it does have a game in there. It was opening and closing, and now it's not. So the PS2 is coming on. I did actually have a PlayStation 1 game in there, Duke Nukem, Land of the Babes, but upon testing, it's got to the PlayStation screen. It's frozen there, and this tray won't come in or out. So we're going to take this apart, see what's wrong in that disk drive, see if there's anything else up with the PlayStation, and then yeah, see where we go. So first we're going to do to get this whole housing off is to remove these rubber feet, and if you can see them, the silver ones that are there, and then there's two of them there. So I'm just going to get doing that. These are all Phillips, so I'm just going to use a standard Phillips. So on the miniature set it's PH1. So I believe this screw is really tight, and I think that's probably part of the damage on that top bit, to be honest. That should allow the bottom to come off. I do have actually the warranty sticker. Which is quite evident someone has already removed. There we go. So just pull that up and forward, and to be honest, inside of this casing is not too bad. To the side, and we'll have a look. So definitely something rattling around. Memory card ports, all of that. It's all right. It looks just like a lot of dust in this fan. So now we're going to carry on moving. Get right down to the board. Let's get these out of the way. Okay, so here we found an issue. This disk drive has a broken foot. So yeah, to remove this section, need to unscrew this one. Actually, I don't think you have to, but this is tape, yes. So now we can get the whole thing out. You can see, or hopefully you can see, some few dust balls. There's like a cobweb here, so some spider definitely lived in there. So it's not that dirty, but we will continue getting it apart, get the dish tray out, give that a clean, find out what it is that's stopping it from opening. Look at that dust. There's our little culprit. It's the end of a crayon or something. Right, so now we have this upside down. We need to remove these screws here where you can see the arrows. And this should allow us, one, to remove the board, or move this board, as in the power supply. Also get to this cage and get that cage off for the expansion out back area. Clear up all those screws. And here we are. Oh, so obviously should disconnect this one. That should allow us to get this power supply out. Yep, again, similar to most consoles, these pins stick into the bottom of the power supply and they're usually quite firmly in there, so you just got to give it a bit of a tug. And there we are. So the Z, then you can move this housing, which I believe, let's start by getting the fan screw out there. And the power button can now be removed, or could have been removed anyway. That's this one, which that's everything on the top side. Get this plastic sheet up. Right, so we should now be able to remove the fan. So we just peel these back so we can run it along the same area again when we put it all back together. Oh, unfortunately that one's ripped, but it's what it is. So now, these are obviously quite thin wires and stuff, so you've got to be quite careful with it. But you should just be able to gently pull it out, and then that should allow the fan to just fall out. So these screws here, now we're getting a bit further in, will be a smaller head, so we'll just test a few out, see what's, yeah, so it's the PH0. So let's unscrew these. You can see this one here. The top here. And there's 3 along the back there. Now, funnily enough, actually the first PS2 I've taken apart, so we're all learning at the same time. Maybe it would help if I removed this whole black housing or unit here. May allow us to gain some access. I think I can see this bit of metal here is actually bent. Try and bend that back. Yeah, that's all right. It's holding that in place. So I'm actually going to try and bend this back into place just using smaller pliers. That looks about right. So now we're going to look to remove or get further towards this board. So I believe we need to get the disc tray out. So I should be able to remove, I don't know how well you can see these. All these ribbons. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 linked in. So let's get all of those pulled out. Should be able to just pull. So now this is the disk drive. So you can see straight away that there is a number or a fair bit of the grease dried up, and there's a lot of hair and debris on there. So that won't be helping any of this at all. But we're going to have to try and get this disc out of here. Now, we need to get into here to get the tray to see why it's not opening. So there are 2 screws, 2 black ones on the top. I'm going to keep them separate just because they are tiny. And then at the back here, you can see there's 2 sort of tabs. You should be able to reach down and out of a pair of needle nose ones like this. There we go. So that was off. So let's unique them out. And as I said, there is a fair bit of dust. So you can see the dust along the bottom here, or the side should I say. And now we're just going to get the actual tray to pop. So to do that, this little white thing here, you can just push it along to the side, and this tray will move. And you can just put it straight all the way out. You can see this grease is all over here. Luckily none of these teeth are broken or anything, which is good. But here you can see there's a large clump of hair. I don't know how well you can see that on the camera. So there's a bit more to get. So I'm now going to clean up this dish tray, and then we'll see, we'll come back once it's all cleaned up. Yeah, Now we just need to put the tray back in, so I'm just going to give this the disc rubber sort of holder a little clean. Just a little bit of alcohol on this ends out the way. So you can see actually on that blue rag just how mucky that was. So now for gentle rub, that should be a lot cleaner and hold this a lot nicer. Now I'm not going to do anything to the laser itself. These screws are Phillips. They will go back in to the same spots they came out. So it's the gold at the front and the Morton was the middle. It's the silver one. It's silver 2. So again, turn it and you hear a little click. That usually means you've found your spot. So don't over tighten these, just do them to where they sort of get stuck. That one is going to be loose because this screw messed up that hole, but that should still hold it absolutely fine. So I actually don't have any grease, so I'm just going to, for now, use a small amount of lubrication sort of spray. It's probably not the best, but I don't actually have anything else at the moment. And as long as I'm not spraying it on electrics, I think it should be fine. So just really lightly. Spray that onto its bits. And now this should all move a bit smoother. Right. Now with the actual disc drive, like the tray. So again, we're going to turn it around. So start this, make sure this is over here, and then start to line these up like that. Go lift it up a little bit so you can push this. You can push this little white one over, and then just make sure that that white tab has gone into the slot properly, and then should just all go together very nicely. And that's it. Now we just need to put the cover on. And now that's the disc drive hopefully sorted. We'll find out once it's all back together. And now I'm just going to do a quick sped up clean up of the console. So the fan is pretty dirty, as you can see, so I'm going to give that a real good clean. Again, so be careful with these blades, just use this brush. And you can see, to a large degree, it's almost brand new. So now we're going to take a look underneath here at the main board, check over all the pieces. I don't think anything's missing or anything's got a problem. Because as I said, it did work, it was just this tray stopped opening and closing. When I bought this, it was sold as usable only for parts. totally didn't turn on, didn't work, but that doesn't appear to have been the case. So you can see that's a thermal pad. So these older consoles had thermal pads rather than thermal paste. Just going to have a look at this. We'll give this a clean in a minute. And you can actually see that there's tons of dust on this board, so I'm going to give that a good clean. So I am going to just give these a little wipe across the top, just to hopefully give a bit of a better connection, because they seemed a little bit dirty. Now, so this battery I am going to change, just like I did on the PS3, just because it has been in there for clearly its entire life. So this is a new battery going in, so I'm going to push it in the exact opposite of the way I did to push it out, but I'm going to use this plastic piece to hopefully feed it in. I don't want to put too much pressure, but yeah, there we are. So that should now work the clock perfectly fine, like the onboard clock. And now it's just a case of put the whole thing back together. And now we'll go and test it. So I'm actually going to try and play the Getaway. So I'm going to see what this stuff does. It's sounding quite good. So now I've got the console all up and running, reading the discs, but after putting the memory card that I purchased today from a second-hand shop, I won't name the name, but they did not remove any of the previous owners' save games, so I want to be removing those, and then I can get to playing the Getaway as I want to. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video.